Sturgeon is a very impressive debater and has a lot of experience, having been Alex Salmond's deputy for so long and now as First Minister and SNP leader. And it's interesting, the SNP, having been demonised so much by David Cameron, may come out looking less scary than people imagine, and that may then make it harder for David Cameron to suggest that it would be such a terrible thing for Ed Miliband to work with them in any way after the election.
OK, thank you both very much. They look forward to seeing you again. Well, Plaid Cymru, the National Party of Wales, launched their manifesto this morning with their leader, Leanne Wood, telling voters that the party wanted similar funding and powers to Scotland. And she joins me now from Bangor in northwest Wales. So do you ultimately, Leanne Wood, want an independent Welsh nation?
Yes, we do. But we recognise that we have challenges in order to meet before we can win a referendum for independence, and that's why the economy is our top priority in this manifesto. We want to turn around the Welsh economy, we want to get more people into work, but not any work. We want to make sure people have well-paid, decent work, and we've said quite clearly that nobody should work a full day's week without having a decent level of pay, and that's why we want to raise the minimum wage up to the living wage.
And would you put up taxes in Wales if you could to pay for that?
Well, this is a UK election, and so we're looking at what taxes Westminster would raise. And yes, we would make changes to the taxation system to make sure that those who can most afford to pay do. And we also want to see measures taken to end tax avoidance and tax evasion.
Well, I understand that, but so do most of the parties. But that first step towards independence, you would want greater powers over the setting of taxes. And do you accept that the fairer Wales, if you see it that way, that you would like to see, will be paid for by taxes on Welsh people or by taxes on all of the UK?
Well, we need to take a step backwards in that debate, really, because in Wales we have no powers over income tax at the moment, despite... Sorry?
You want them,
yes,
though, don't you?
Yes, of course we want powers over income tax.
And if you did, would you tax more?
We want powers over everything.
So would you tax more if you had those?
We would ensure that those who could more afford to pay would be paying more, yes. But we don't have income tax raising powers here in Wales, and it's a Westminster election. So in terms of taxation policy, we have to look at it from a Westminster perspective for the purposes of May.
So who would be paying for this living wage for all employees, or for the extra 1,000 doctors for the Welsh NHS then?
Well, we contend that there is enough money already in the economy, but it's not spent on the right things. So, for example, £100 billion is likely to be allocated to the Trident replacement programme. That is money that could be spent on public services. I've already mentioned tax avoidance, but what we've seen in the UK is a concentration of wealth around the London city-state and the south-east, to the detriment of places like Wales, but not just Wales. There are communities in England that have lost out as well. And we want to see a much fairer rebalancing of that wealth throughout these islands, so that people are not forced into a situation of poverty as they have done under the austerity measures meted out by this government.
So in other words, you want more taxation on London and the south-east to pay for what you want to do in Wales?
We want a redistribution of wealth, so that those areas in the UK, including Wales, that have been neglected for many decades, are able to get to the point where they are self-sufficient and people are able to stand on their own 2 feet. I'm not interested in continuing to take handouts from London and from Brussels. I want Wales to be in a position where we can fend for ourselves. But we've been so disadvantaged for such a long time that there needs to be an evening up and a levelling out of the playing field. And this election gives us a great opportunity to do that, because if there is a hung parliament and Plaid Cymru holds the balance of power, then putting those arguments to rebalance power and wealth will be a chief priority for us.
OK, we'll look forward to hearing from you more during this campaign. Thank you very much indeed for joining us today from Bangor.